Hey y'all, it's Swan War from Tethered Spineries. I hope you're doing well, and this is part 2 of my unboxing for Mary Mecham's special edition paperback of Hunting Sirens. Absolutely jam-packed with stuff. We have the Kraken. We have these two characters from the next book, Becoming Corinth, in this series. There's Treva. This is the MMC Bane from the series. We have Captain Hook from Becoming Hook. And I do need to make a correction. That is my bad. This is Betraying Corinth, not Becoming Corinth. Tinkerbell and Peter Pan from Becoming Hook. Hunting Sirens is actually the second book in the Legends of Neverland series, which I will link below in the description. Looks like, whoa, hold on, sorry. I know you're getting a really close look at my face, I'm sorry. There's Hook and Tinkerbell, a bookmark. Oh. Looks like we have the couple from Betraying Corinth. A Legends of Neverland bookmark. That is pretty. Of course, we have Treva and Bane. And then we have the Kraken on the other side. Oh, we have some art prints. Let's see what we got here. This is from Betraying Corinth. The original version of the Goose Girl has a description here on the back. A princess travels to marry a prince in a neighboring kingdom, accompanied by her handmaiden and magical items from her mother, a talking horse, Falada, and a blood-stained handkerchief for protection. Along the way, the maid betrays her, forcing the princess to trade places and swear silence. The maid poses as the princess and marries the prince, while the true princess is sent to herd geese with a boy named Curdy. To hide her crime, the handmaiden has Falada killed, but the princess secretly mounts Falada's head over the city gate, where it speaks to her daily. While tending the geese, the princess displays kindness and magical abilities, such as controlling the wind to fend off Curdy's teasing. Her unusual behavior draws the attention of the king, who discovers her true identity after hearing her story. The king exposes the maid by tricking her into describing her own punishment, being sealed in a nail-studded barrel and dragged by horses until dead. Justice prevails, and the princess marries the prince in a joyful ceremony. And of course, we have Hunting Sirens. About deaf rep in Hunting Sirens, because there's the back with the description. On dialogue formatting, you may notice that in this book, the majority of the dialogue is written in italics, not in quotation marks. This is because Treva is profoundly deaf and uses sign language to communicate. Any character signing will use italics, and any spoken words will be in quotation marks. Deaf Big D or deaf little d. Yes, it does matter. I wanted to note that deaf is capitalized. This is intentional and is not a grammatical error. Often the word deaf, big D, will be capitalized to indicate that an individual is fully immersed in the deaf community, fluent in sign language, associate with other deaf individuals on a regular basis, etc. A small d in deaf is understood to mean that the individual, who could fall anywhere on the spectrum of hearing loss, is not fully integrated into the deaf Big D community. ASL versus English grammar. I am also aware that the grammar in sign language varies greatly from English grammar. But just as we would use whichever grammar structure the listener is familiar with, I have any sign language written using English grammar. So, while the correct ASL grammar for a sentence like I'm going to the store is signed store I go, to eliminate confusion for the readers, I elected to use English grammar. Is sign language universal? Similarly, sign language is not a universal language. Each country's sign language will differ from others, just as there are variations in spoken languages. In this book, however, the siren and human sign languages are mostly the same. It is briefly addressed in the book as to the reason they would be so similar. And now you see why I love this book so much. Then we have a reading order list, which I will go into more detail when I do my review. We have Peter Pan and Tinkerbell and Captain Hook. Hook and Tinkerbell. And again, Hook and Tinkerbell. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and I cannot wait to get to reading the physical copy of one of my absolute favorite books of all time. And as always, happy reading.